All right, guys, we went 4-2 in our 6 personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage yesterday. And that's going to put me at 2-0 my last couple of NBA tier package bets on that very same website. But before we go ahead and get into some more of that, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal sports bets at patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access today's NBA tier package bet, the link for that play is in the description section below. Now, I currently have over 830 members who are signed up and active on my safe and secure website right now. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. Now, if you want to see my current sports betting record, you can do that for free right now by going to the homepage. And if you're worried about your credit card info and all your other personal information, just keep in mind that I utilize the Patreon platform. It's just kind of like OnlyFans, except I get to keep my clothes on. So, guys, I never come in contact with any of your credit card information or any of your personal information for that matter. The only thing I can see is your name and email address. I know that personal information is a big thing, especially in my business because handicappers, scam-decappers, really bad rap. It's an industry that's incredibly tarnished. So just know that I don't see any of your personal info. So even if you don't trust me, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to see any of your stuff. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into some free content. Let's take a look at the Giants taking on the Reds, 6:40 Eastern first pitch on Friday, May 27th, 2022. San Francisco's minus 215, totals 8 runs. Carlos Rodon for the Giants, Graham Ashcraft possible for Cincinnati. But regardless of who ends up pitching for the Reds, this is arguably the worst pitching staff in baseball. They're allowing more home runs per contest than any other team in the majors. They're also dead last in the majors in opponents' OPS, and they're also allowing just about 6 runs a game. Now, offensively, the Cincy lineup is amongst the worst in the National League in strikeouts at the plate. They're taking on Carlos Rodon here today, who does nothing but strike batters out himself. The lefty's fanned 62 batters already and has a 3.43 ERA. And even if Rodon stinks here today, he's backed by a powerful lineup who's currently in the top 3 in the league in scoring. Now, Darren Ruff has touched home plate 25 times already. He currently leads the team in walks at the dish. Meanwhile, Mikey Yastrzemski is batting .309 with 18 walks and 55 total bases. And when it comes to OPS, the Giants are also in the top 3 in the majors in that particular category as well. Now, total-wise, 8 out of San Francisco's last 10 ball games got over the line. Meanwhile, Cincinnati saw 3 out of their last 4 at the Great American Ballpark get over the number themselves. I'm going to lean towards San Francisco minus 1.5 and the over 8. Next ball game, Rockies Nationals 7:05 East. Washington's minus $1.20, totals 9. Aaron Sanchez for the Nats, Austin Gomer for Colorado. And even though Gomer's had a couple of tough outings, he still comes into today's contest with 34 strikeouts and a 1.20 whip. Now, the Rockies also have one of the best lineups in the National League right now. These guys are actually leading the majors in team batting average. C.J. Cron is hitting .308 with a dozen home runs and 34 RBI. Meanwhile, Jose Iglesias is hitting .307 at the plate himself. They're taking on a Washington team who plays their worst baseball at Nationals Park. These guys have gotten the W in just 7 out of 24 home games. And they're also in the bottom 3 in the league in home runs at the plate. Now, pitching-wise, Aaron Sanchez has a 7.16 ERA and a 1.70 whip. When it comes to the total in this one, Washington's currently 16-8 to the under in the Capitol. I'm going to lean toward Colorado plus $1 and the under 9. Next matchup, little NL East action. I'm talking about the Phillies taking on the Mets, 7:10 p.m. East. The New York Mets are minus 135 totals, 8 runs. Carlos Carrasco for New York, Bailey Falter for Philadelphia. Now, Falter's still looking for his first win of the year after a dozen innings of work. The Titans have also dropped 5 out of their last 8. And their pitching staff's in the bottom 10 in the majors right now in opponents' batting average. Meanwhile, offensively at the plate, the Phillies are actually just striking out way too much at the dish. These guys are actually amongst the worst in the National League right now in strikeouts per game at the plate. They're taking on a Mets team on the other side of things. Well, they've got a pitching staff who's averaging nearly double-digit strikeouts a game themselves. Of course, they've got Carlos Carrasco going here today. He's 4-1 on the season with 39 strikeouts and a 3.50 ERA. Now, offensively, Pete Alonso's second in the majors in RBI with 41 of them. When it comes to offensive production, this Mets lineup is also in the top 3 in the bigs right now in team batting average. Now, total-wise, New York went 60% to the over in their last 10 outings. Meanwhile, the Phils saw 3 out of their last 4 road games get over the total themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the New York Mets, minus 135, and the over 8 runs. Next contest I have for you, another divisional game. I'm talking about the Yankees taking on the Rays, 7:10 Eastern start time. Now, Tampa Bay's minus $1.25, total 7.5. Jeffrey Springs for Tampa Bay, Jamison Tyone for New York. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, the Yankees saw 6 out of their last 10 outings get over the line. They also went 3-1 to the over in their last 4 away from home. Meanwhile, the Rays have gone 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games themselves. And when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as my extra daily bet on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access today's extra daily bet, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. And just remember here, guys, if you sign up for my extra daily bet, you're actually going to get access to that membership every single day, all the way through the end of May. And as an added bonus here, guys, you're also going to get access to my daily best play, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. You're going to get access to that daily best play absolutely free every single day, all the way through the end of May as well. So if you want to see whether I like the Rays getting the job done at home, or if I like the Yankees catching plus money on the road, there's only one way to find out, and that's to sign up for my extra daily bet on patreon.com/BrockPage. And the link for that play is in the description section below. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, I'm going to lean toward the over 7.5 in that ball game. Next matchup, it is going to be Orioles Red Sox, 7:10 p.m. East. Boston's minus $2, totals 9.5. Garrett Whitlock for Boston, Kyle Bradish for Baltimore. Now, Bradish has had a rough time in the bigs. He's just 1-3 with a 5.74 ERA and a 1.35 whip. And even if he does show up here today, he's backed by a terrible Baltimore lineup. These guys are in the bottom 3 in OPS, and they're averaging less than 3.6 runs a game. Now, they're taking on a Boston pitching staff who's amongst the better teams in the league right now in strikeouts. The Bo Sox are currently in the top 10 in striking batters out, and they're also in the top 10 in opponents' batting average. They also have Garrett Whitlock on the mound, who's got 40 strikeouts in just over 32 innings of work. Now, the righty also has a very solid 3.58 ERA and a 1.16 whip. And when it comes to offensive production in this one, JD Martinez is batting .380, Rafael Devers is hitting .335, and Xander Bogaerts, he's batting .319. Imagine facing that lineup, multiple times a year. I mean, that's crazy. But anyway, total-wise, Boston saw 8 out of their last 10 contests get over the number. They're also 6-1 to the over in their last 7 at Fenway. Meanwhile, the O's went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Boston minus 1.5 and the over 9.5 runs. Next ball game, it is going to be Guardians Tigers 7:10 p.m. East. Cleveland's minus 165, total 7 runs. Shane Bieber for Cleveland, Alex Faedo for Detroit. And even though Faedo's looked sharp in several spots, he still has just 1 win on the year, along with a 1.33 whip. Now, the Tigers are also a dozen games below 500. And they've gotten the W in only 9 out of 22 at Comerica Park. They're taking on a Cleveland squad who does a nice job of scoring runs away from home. They're currently in the top 5 in road scoring. And they're led by Jose Ramirez, who has a league-best 43 RBI. Now, this Cleveland pitching staff has also done a nice job in several different spots as well. They actually find themselves in the top 10 in opponents' batting average. Of course, they've got Shane Bieber on the hill, and even though he has had a tough time getting the W this year, Biebs has still fanned 46 batters in just over 45 innings of work. So strikeouts are still up for Bieber. And he also has a 3.55 ERA. So once again, even though he's having a tough time getting the W, I think those wins are going to come around here eventually. He's still showing very good stuff this year. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Cleveland's last 6 road games fell under the posted number. They also went 80% to the under in their last 10 outings at any location. Meanwhile, Detroit has gone 8-2 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Cleveland minus 165 and the under 7 runs. Next matchup, it is going to be Marlins Braves 7:20 East. Atlanta's minus 150, totals 9. Ian Anderson for Atlanta, Trevor Rogers for Miami. And even though Rogers has struggled this year, the Marlins are one of the better run line cashing teams on the road. Miami's gone 13-7 against the number while traveling this season. And that's good for 65% in that particular category. Meanwhile, offensively, they're led by Jazz Chisholm, who's got 27 RBI and 72 total bases. Now, they're taking on a Braves club who's definitely had some problems with their pitchers. These guys are in the bottom 3 in the bigs and runs allowed per game at home. They also have Ian Anderson on the mound here today, who's got a 4.07 ERA and a 1.36 whip. Now, hitting-wise, nobody is striking out more times per contest at the plate than Atlanta. These guys really struggling to make contact. Now, total-wise, Atlanta saw 3 out of their last 4 at Truist Park get over the number. Meanwhile, Miami went 70% to the over in their last 10 outings themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Marlins plus 1.5, keeping this one close, and the over 9. Next matchup, Royals Twins 8:10 East. Minnesota's minus 185, totals 8. Bailey Ober for Minnesota, Brad Keller for Kansas City. And even though Keller's shown some really good stuff this season, he simply can't get the W. Keller's currently just 1-4 in the year, and he's actually seen a significant dip in strikeouts this year as well. But even if Keller starts mowing them down here today, the Royals have had a real tough time of scoring runs. They're actually averaging less than 3.8 runs a game this year, and they're currently in the bottom 5 in the majors in homers. They're taking on a Minnesota club on the other side of things who actually won 7 out of their last 10. And they have one of the better pitching staffs in the American League right now. These guys currently find themselves in the top 5 in fewest runs allowed. And they've also got Bailey Ober on the hill here today. Now, Ober's got a 2.55 ERA and a 1.14 whip. Meanwhile, offensively, the Twins are currently in the top 10 in batting average. And they're led by Luis Arias, who's hitting 347. Now, when it comes to the number, Minnesota saw 6 out of their last 10 outings get over the total. Meanwhile, KC's 13-7 to the over on the road. I'm going to lean toward Minnesota minus 185 in the over 8. Next contest, it is going to be Brewers Cardinals 8:15 East. Milwaukee's minus 145, total 7. Brandon Woodruff for Milwaukee, Dakota Hudson for St. Louis. Now, Hudson's had a solid start to the season. He's 3-2 with a 3.60 ERA. The St. Louis lineup has also been real tough to get out. They're currently in the top 3 in scoring, and they're led by Paul Goldschmidt, who's hitting .348 with 8 home runs and 34 RBI. Now, no real surprise here. The Cards are also in the top 5 in team batting average. They're taking on Brandon Woodruff, who's actually had a few shaky outings to start the season here. The righty's got himself a .476 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. And as usual, guys, strikeouts are quite high for these Milwaukee hitters. They're actually amongst the worst in the National League in strikeouts per 9 at the dish. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Cards have gone 14-7 to the over this year at Busch Stadium. They also saw 3 out of their last 4 home games against divisional opponents get over the line. Meanwhile, Milwaukee is currently 14-9 to the over against the NL Central themselves. I'm going to lean toward St. Louis plus $1.25 and the over 7. Next matchup, Blue Jays, Angels, 9:38 East. Toronto's minus $1.15 on the road, totals 8 runs. Alek Manoah for Toronto, Chase Silseth for Los Angeles. Now, when it comes to the number in this one, 4 out of the Angels' last 6 home games did fall under the posted total. Matter of fact, the Angels are currently 60% to the under in all of their home games this year. Meanwhile, Toronto, on the other side of things, they've gone 7-3 to the under in their last 10 outings themselves. And when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game is being featured as my $1.99 daily best play on patreon.com/Brock page. So if you want to see whether I like the Blue Jays or the Angels in this one, there's only one way to find out, and that's to sign up for my $1.99 daily best play on patreon.com/Brock page. And once again, guys, if you sign up for that package here today, you're actually going to get access to that membership every single day all the way through the end of May. And the link for that bet is in the description section below. But as far as making a free pick is concerned for this ball game here, I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the under 8 runs in that contest. All right, next matchup I have for you, it is going to be Astros taking on the Mariners, 9:40 p.m. East. Houston's minus $2, total 7. Justin Verlander for Houston, Chris Flexen for Seattle. Now, Flexy's been real bad this season. He's just 1-6 with a .498 ERA and a 1.43 WHIP. Seattle's also lost 8 out of their last 10. They've had a real tough time getting on base at T-Mobile Park. Matter of fact, the Mariners currently find themselves in the bottom 10 in the bigs right now in home hits. They're taking on Justin Verlander here today, who's a dominant 6-1 on the season with a 1.22 ERA. Now, Justin's also got 49 strikeouts along with a .72 WHIP. I can't believe this guy's played at such a high level for so long. This guy's arguably, I know this sounds crazy, this guy's arguably one of the best pitchers to ever take the mound in the game. I mean, you're talking a top 25 pitcher of all time. He's unbelievable to play like that at such a high level. But anyway, when it comes to offensive production, the Astros are currently in the top 5 in road scoring. Jeremy Pena is batting nearly .300 with 7 home runs and 22 RBI. Meanwhile, Yordan Alvarez leads the club in homers with 12 of them. Now, total-wise, Seattle went 60% to the over in their last 10 outings. They're also 13-6 to the over in their own building. I'm going to lean toward Houston minus 1.5 in the over 7. Next matchup, Dodgers D-backs, 9:40 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are minus 175, totals 9. Ryan Pepio for Los Angeles. Madison Bumgarner for Arizona. And even though Mad Bums definitely look crafty this year, he's just 2-2 on the season with only 28 strikeouts and over 42 innings pitched. This D-backs lineup has also been pretty bad. They're in the bottom 3 in team batting average, and they're nearly dead last in strikeouts per game at the plate. They're taking on a Dodger club who allows fewer runs per contest than any other team in the majors. Meanwhile, offensively, the Dodgers scoring more runs per game than any other team in the bigs as well. Freddie Freeman's hitting .312 along with 28 RBI. Meanwhile, Mookie Betts and Trey Turner, they've combined for 65 RBI between the two of them. Now, total-wise, the Dodgers are 15-9 to the under while traveling. Meanwhile, the D-backs are 71% to the under at Chase Field. I'm going to lean toward the LA Dodgers minus 175 and the under 9 runs. Next contest, Pirates, Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's minus $2, total 7. Sean Manaea for San Diego. Jose Quintana for Pittsburgh. And even though Quintana's looked really good, he simply can't get the W. He's got just one win on the year through over 40 innings of work. And most of that is due to the poor performance of this Pittsburgh lineup. The Buccos are scoring only 3.4 runs a game this year. And they're also in the bottom 5 in team batting average. Now they're taking on a Padres club who does a terrific job keeping runners off the base pass. San Diego's in the top 3 in opponents' batting average. They've also got Sean Manaea on the mound here today, who's got 55 strikeouts in just 49 innings. Now, total-wise, the Pods are currently 14-6 to the under at Petco Park. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh has gone nearly 61% to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean towards San Diego minus 1.5. And the under 7 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It is going to be Rangers taking on the A's, 9:40 p.m. East. Texas is minus 130, total 7 runs. John Gray for Texas, Cole Irvin for Oakland. And when it comes to the total in this one, the A's saw 3 out of their last 4 home games fall under the line. Matter of fact, Oakland's currently 14-8 to the under in all of their contests at the Coliseum. Meanwhile, the Rangers are 15-6 to the under while traveling. And of course, that's good for 71% in that particular category. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game is being featured as my Major League Baseball tier package bet on patreon.com/Brock Page. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, I'm going to lean toward the under 7 runs in that ball game. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where I'm currently 2-0 in my last 2 NBA tier package bets. I like the Giants minus 1.5 over 8 runs. Give me the Rockies plus $1 under 9. I like the New York Mets minus 135 over 8 runs. I also like the over 7.5 in the Yankees-Rays game. Give me Boston minus 1.5 over 9.5 hook. I also like Cleveland minus 165 under 7. Give me Miami plus 1.5 over 9 runs. I like Minnesota minus 185 over 8. Give me the Cardinals plus $1.25 over 7. I also like the under 8 in the Toronto Angels game. Give me Houston minus 1.5 over 7. I like the Dodgers minus 175 under 9. I'm also leaning towards San Diego minus 1.5 under 7 runs. And with my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward the under 7 runs in the Texas-Oakland game. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/Brock Page. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page.